Good morning, dears. Hope all of you are safe at home. So, we are continuing with the sixth chapter in science, changes around us, isn't it? So far, we have discussed about different types of changes that occur in our surroundings during our daily lives, isn't it? There are natural changes, then human-made changes, and there is reversible and irreversible changes. So what is reversible change? A change that can be reversed back, or an object which can be reversed back to its original form is called as a reversible change, and the change that could not be reversed back into its original state is called as irreversible changes, and we have discussed lots of example for these two changes, and also we have discussed about how to make these changes. So in that by heating and cooling we can make changes in the objects, isn't it? So by heating, what are the changes occur to the objects? Yes, through heating we can make the object hot. So we have discussed about the example with water. When we heat water, the water will become hot, isn't it? And when we cool water, it will cools down. So the object become hot on heating and the object will become cold on cooling. And also studied about certain things will expand on heating and will contract on cooling, isn't it? And in that we have discussed about the example, metals like aluminium, iron and copper will expand on heating and it will contract on cooling. And there are some examples given in your textbook for that. The fixing of iron rim on a bullock cart is given as an example in your textbook. And next we have discussing about the inserting of an iron blade. This is the second example we are going to discuss. How we can insert an iron blade. So in your textbook you can see a picture. A picture of wooden handles in iron tools. So the tools like spades and ploughs are used for digging of the soil, isn't it? Here are the tools.
This is a spade with wooden handle, and this is a plough with wooden handle.
So how we can prepare these tools? By inserting wooden pieces into the iron part. So by heating we can fix the wooden handles to the iron tool. How? Yes, through heating. So the iron blade of these tools will be having a ring at the center. Did you see that? It's there in your picture which is given in your textbook. So there is a ring on the iron blade through which the wooden handle is fixed. So there is an oval shaped hole. So there is an oval shaped hole at the center of the iron blade. And how we can insert the wood into that hole? Normally the size of the hole which is present at the center of the blade is smaller than that of wooden handle. Normally, for example, just imagine this is an iron blade. So the hole at the center will be smaller than that of the wooden hand. Consider this is a wooden handle. So the size of the hole will be much smaller than that of the wooden handle. So this is iron blade. And this is wooden handle. So in order to prepare this tune, the wooden handle is to be inserted into this hole, isn't it? So this hole will be smaller than that of wooden handle. So the smith will heat this iron blade by cow dung fires. While it is getting heated, it will starting expanded. Okay, so when we heat the iron blade, when the smith heat the iron blade, it will start expand, and the size of the oval shaped hole is become higher than that of the wooden handle. So we can easily insert this wooden handle into this hole. Is it clear? Once it is fitted to the hole, it is then cooled by pouring water over the hot ring. Okay, it is cooled by pouring water to the hot ring. So when we cool this ring, it will contract again. So the wooden handle will get fixed to the hole. Is it clear? So once I repeat, this is an iron blade, and there is an oval shaped hole at the middle part. So we need to insert this wooden handle into this part. So what we'll do? Yes, the smith will heat the iron blade by using dry dung cake fire, and once it is getting heated, it will start expand. So the size of the hole will become higher, so that we can easily fix the wooden handle into this hole. So while it is inserted into the hole, it is cooled by pouring water into the hot blade. Okay. So by cooling, it will again get contracted. So it is the wooden handle is fixed into the hole. Is it clear? Okay. So if you are wish to eat a jam and you are not able to open the metal lid of the jar, what will you do? Yes, you can dip the bottle or dip the jar into a hot water. So the metallic lid of the bottle will expand, and you can easily remove the lid of the jar. So while heating, the metals are expanded, and when cooling, it will get contracted. Okay, and the next thing we are going to discuss is certain things change their state. What is state? State is the form of the substance. That is, there are three different states: solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state, that we have discussed in our previous chapters. So certain things will change their state on heating and cooling. That is, we are going to discuss now. State. Certain things will changes the state. This we have discussed in our previous portions. Like we know that when we heat ice, it will changes to water, isn't it? So ice will changes to water. Ice is in what state? Ice is solid substance, isn't it? And water is a liquid. So the solid ice will changes to water on heating. And when we cool this water, we can get ice, isn't it? Water is cooled to form the solid ice. Cooled. This is the, and we have discussed it in our irreversible process. This is a reversible process in which the solid ice is converted to a liquid water through heating, and by cooling of water we can convert the liquid water to solid ice, isn't it? And similarly, water will changes to vapor or steam by heating, isn't it? What is the process called? Yes, through evaporation, isn't it? So water in its liquid state and steam is in gaseous state. So liquid water will changes to steam on heating, and this steam when cooled will return back to its liquid form. So when the steam is cooled down, it will turn back to water, isn't it? So this is also a reversible process. So water contracts on cooling up to 4 degrees Celsius, and further cooling from 4 degree to 0 degree Celsius, it will expand. And next we are going to discuss another change. Certain things will burn on heating. What are the things burn on heating? That is another change. Okay. Certain things begin to burn on heating. Burn on heating. When a combustible substance. So what is a combustible substance? The burning substances like kerosene, paper, then candle, coal. These are combustible substances. So when these combustible substances are heated, it will start burning. Okay. So the combustible substances will burn. Okay, burn on heating. So what are combustible substances? The substances that burn on heating like kerosene, coal, paper, all these are candle, all these are combustible substances. And we can we can now see an activity regarding this.
When we light a candle and observe it after some time, we can see that the size of the candle changes. This change is irreversible.
So when we light a candle, the candle will burn and it will reduces its size. The size will be get changed, and this process is an irreversible process. Okay, and when we burn a paper, we get ashes. So do we convert back this ashes to paper? No, we can't convert this ashes to paper. So this is also an irreversible process. So through combustion, we could not convert back the objects in its original form. So that is an irreversible process. And there is a multiple choice activity in your textbook, that is, first one is, how do changes occur? So there are 4 different choices. So you have to select the right choice. And the second one is, when does an object expand? Okay, when does an object expand? There are also given 4 choices. So you need to select one of the right choice. Okay. So far we have discussed about the changes occur during heating and cooling, isn't it? And now we are going to discuss the changes occur by the application of pressure. The changes that caused by pressure. Changes caused by pressure. Let's see some example for the changes that is caused by applying pressure.
This is the picture of blowing of a balloon. When we blow up a balloon, we can observe that there is a change in shape and size of the balloon. And when we let the air escape from the balloon deflates and the shape and the size changes again. Similarly, when we press a fluffy solid like a sponge, their shape will changes. When the pressure is released, they get back to their original shape.
So the first one is change in size and shape. Change in size and shape. How these changes occur? By applying pressure, we can change the size and shape of certain things. When we apply pressure to a balloon, it will expand, isn't it? It will start changing the size and shape, isn't it? And when we allow the air escape from the balloon, what will happen? The balloon will deflate and the size and shape will again changed, isn't it? So when we apply pressure to a balloon, the size and shape is changed, and when we release the air from the balloon, it will deflate and the size and shape will again get changed, isn't it? Similarly, when we press the fluffy substances like sponge, loaf, etc., cushions, the size of these fluffy substances will change, isn't it? The size and shape of these fluffy substances will change when we apply pressure to it. And when we release the pressure, the fluffy substance will revert back to its original form, isn't it? So that is the first change in size and shape by applying pressure. For example, in the case of balloon and the fluffy substances, when we apply pressure, it will changes its size and shape, and when we releases the pressure, it will revert back to its original form. And the second thing is breaking objects. Which are breaking objects? Yes, when we apply pressure to glass and biscuits and certain other things, it will breaks into pieces, isn't it? When we apply pressure to some objects like glass, biscuits, coal, it will breaks into smaller pieces, and this process is irreversible. Can we convert back the broken glasses into its original form? No, we can't do that. So this is an irreversible process because the breaking of the objects cannot be reversed back. That is, when the glass is broken by applying pressure, we could not revert back the glass pieces into the glass, isn't it? So this is an irreversible process, breaking objects by applying pressure. And the last change we are going to discuss is changes caused by mixing. This is the last change we are going to discuss. Third one, that is changes caused by mixing. What is mixing? This is we have already discussed in our previous chapter. Did you remember that? Yes, when we mix something to water, we can get a solution. Did you remember that? Yes, when we mix salt to water, we get salt solution. And how we can separate the salt and water separately? Yes, through evaporation and condensation, we can separate those salt and water differently, isn't it? So this is
A reversible change.
why? Because when the salt is mixed in water, we can separate the salt and water and again we get the salt and water differently, isn't it? So this is,
A reversible process.
but there is irreversible change also in this case, because when quicklime is mixed in water, we get slaked lime. So this is an irreversible process. We could not return back the slaked lime into quicklime. So this is an irreversible process. So that's all about changes caused by mixing. When we add salt to water, we get the salt solution. And when how we can get the salt and water separately? By evaporation and condensation, we again obtain water and salt back to its original form. So that it is an reversible change, and quicklime is converting to slaked lime by mixing with water. It is an irreversible change. Okay, so that is all about mixing. So far we have discussed about 3 different changes, like changes on heating and cooling, and there are lots of example in that, and changes occur by applying pressure or changes caused by pressure, and the last one is changes caused by mixing. Is every topic is clear? This is all about this chapter, changes around us, and this is a simple and very small chapter. I hope all of you understood the chapter. Thank you.